What's going on, traders? Who's ready to get back into the action? See if we can make some Menzel type of money. You did get one or two contracts, right? I'm trying to do the same right here on live trading. Let's get into it. Live trading with Benzinga.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
Let's get it indeed. Let's get our guys on here and see what we can find in the trading action today. Let's go. Let's go. Sound that alarm. The hoodie's on. You already know what that means. We're ready to get into the action. And what's up? What's up, my friend? You look like you didn't get some sleep, Zunaid.
Man, listen. It's been a long day. You know what I mean? I've been up since 8 o'clock doing the dishes like I'm a grown-ass man, but it's all right. It's all right.
I like how you say like I'm a grown-ass man, like you're not really one.
Nah. Look, if you could see what I'm wearing on the bottoms here, I'm not a grown-ass man whatsoever. But we'll keep it moving and keep it PG, though.
No worries. We don't want to see all that today.
You should check out my OnlyFans. Here we go, though. We're going to go ahead and see what we've got on the SPY. Gap up once again. It is one of the most annoying things. Let me go and delete this little puppy. It's just so annoying to go ahead and play gap ups, but, you know, it's what the market has presented, and we got to be on the show. So we'll see how we can behave. But, of course, we are not forced to take a trade. So we'll see if we get good setups or not. But at the moment, 375 seems to be a little bit of resistance here in the pre-market. I've got a level set, and I'm hoping that if the market gets to about the 380s, that's the ideal place where I'm looking to go short, but no clue if it'll go up another 6 points from where it is already, almost up 9 points here today. I don't know why I've got this alert. I'm going to go and remove that little puppy because I do not care anymore. There we go. And then, of course, you've got 380 here. That's going to look to be a bit of a support area, which makes perfect sense. And, of course, when I say 380, I meant 370. You guys know I do this all the time. You can see resistance here. And then, of course, the top there, the pre-market, or excuse me, the after hours, came back up. Support right there, and then it rallied back. So that 370 should be a nice little area for us to go ahead and scalp. And let's go ahead and check out Tesla. That's, of course, moving on the way up as well. I don't really have a good read on Tesla for me. I think the next level of resistance comes here around the 233. So I'm just going to go ahead and mark 233 right there. Delete all these other levels for now, as they do not mean a thing to me, except we will go ahead and maybe mark this previous high just to see how it wants to behave around the 221.88 area. And that's what I've got so far on Tesla, which is interesting because you can see the area of resistance here turns into the area of support here within $1 of a range on Tesla. Let's go ahead and check out a little bit of AMD. AMD was within this little range here, and it still is within that range of $60. But if it goes ahead and pops up above $60, though, you can see some real nice movement to the upside. And then what I would love to see is kind of like a pop above, the retest of 60, and then we can make our move to the upside if we want to. But no clue what the action is. And it's a little too close to 60 for me to even try to short it. So I'm going to leave it be for now. But speaking of shorting, of course, I've got a little bit of Netflix here. Look at the move that we talked about yesterday on rejecting the 350. And right at 350, first off, it rejected it, but second of all, it did go ahead and get help from some news that came out. I think it was from Wall Street Journal, but I could completely be wrong. And you can see the straight smack down. If you think people aren't watching the market when they release the news sometimes, I don't know. May want to reconsider. Not all of the time, not all of them, but just that little coincidence here, because I think it was right as soon as it hit 350 that look at this candle bar right here, and it had hit 350 maybe 2 minutes prior. So it's interesting stuff there. I did go ahead and move some funds over to TradeStation just so we could kind of play together and have a little bit of fun and lose money together, because it's always good to do that together. So I'm going to look to go short Netflix around the 250, 190 area. The reason being for that is because if we go a little bit back, where'd it go? You can see a little bit of resistance here on August 15th or so at that level. So we'll see if it behaves the same way or not. If it doesn't, cool. We'll keep it moving But that's the reason that I have that. You can see the wick right there on August 15th. And look at how many times you saw the wick of 250 just down. But we'll see how it wants to go ahead and behave. If that doesn't work, if I go ahead and get stopped out of this one, my next area to go ahead and short would be around the 255. I've already got the orders in here and also on E-Trade side of things as well. And then let's go ahead and check out Coinbase. Now, Coinbase has been interesting for this same exact range. We're going to have to move it up with just a little bit here. There we go. Now, for me on this one, if it wants to go ahead and break, it's tough for me to go long Coinbase, but you can see you've got the 45, excuse me, the 75 that is holding on to it as resistance there. But if it breaks out above this and wants to come back and test it, I could be interested, or I could just try to go short around the 75.50 area. But I'm not necessarily looking to go ahead and trade Coinbase, especially with a lot of short stuff out there with crypto, this, that, the other. Not exactly something that I'm excited to play. We already covered the SPY. Let's go ahead and check out Apple here. Apple's coming up to that 145. It's actually above the 145. You can see I had a trade on it, but that's simply just because I wanted to make sure, the funds were working and everything like that. Because I can place a trade here on the trade station thing and it automatically updates here. So that's what I wanted to check. So we started the morning off with a sweet, I think it was a $6 win. Was it a $6 win? $6 win. So honestly, I'm a baller. I don't know how you guys honestly, I don't know how I don't have a subscription to go ahead and sell you guys alerts, but keep an eye on 2023 and we'll make some money together. And then I know trying to see if there's any other tickers that I really cared for, but that's kind of really it. Nothing else is really on my mind. I'll rely on Ryan to see if there are any small cap world stuff that I should be focused on, because those are a lot of fun to play. We made some money on a couple of them yesterday, but what is up?
All right. So good stuff there. I mean, that Netflix 250, the only thing I think is that if that breaks 250, they could easily pop. So I would imagine that you probably have an exit plan in case it goes against you.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm going to risk about $2 to the upside, profit taking about $2 to the downside.
Good stuff. All right. Now the market is up nearly 600 points in the pre-market here today. So we're going to have a pretty large gap up. This is similar to what we had yesterday in the sense that it's going to be more difficult to find relative strength today because everything so far is strong. I mean, just go through the charts. Amazon, Apple, Square, everything's up. Tyson, Goldman Sachs, a huge earnings report from Goldman Sachs this morning that's driving us here. So we are going to take a look at some of the small caps. I also want to watch the market for a reversal today, right? So we're up pretty big. The question is, do we reverse at 10:30? Do we, I don't know that we're necessarily going to make lows. We're up quite a bit today. That'd be a really nasty reversal. But I don't necessarily just expect this to keep going and be a Dow plus 1,000 day. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. In the meantime, we do have a couple of things off the movers tool that we're going to be watching. Number one, ACUS is actually getting bought out. So this is not going to be a trade. This is just this company is being acquired. So there's really nothing there. We do have a couple of penny stocks just because of the way FNHC has performed lately. It's worth noting these, even if I'm not going to trade them. I know we've got people out there that do trade these. So might as well mention them and at least keep them on radar. So ZVO here, we're gapping up. We're up about 10 cents or 76% here this morning. Looks like this is fairly orderly trading. So maybe we'll get that type of move once the market opens. Com's another one. This is literally a penny stock at 7 cents, but it's up this morning. I'm going to go ahead and skip over it. Now, the first one here is going to be Ra Medical Systems. This is RMED, RMED. This is a blast from the past. We have traded this before, and I believe that someone correct me, but I think that this was a reverse split. Can't remember. I'll have to go through the news feed here. But looking at the recent area that we have, we're trying to take out this entire area here. So what would be most bullish for me would be a bust above this 838 level. We're going to have some work to do before we actually do that. A move through 8 on volume here probably sets us up for some upside momentum early out of the open here. As always, when a stock is this extended, stock's up 45% right now. With a stock is this extended, we don't necessarily want to take big shots at it early on. Scaling in, if you want to play this early, scaling in, if you want to play this early, is probably going to be your best bet. So next here is going to be FNHC. Now, this is the one that
real quick, sorry to reject, but yeah, just so folks can know that RMED is being, I don't want to say pumped, but it is being shown a lot of excitement on Twitter by Zach Morris. So just something to keep in mind if you're going to try to go short that. If a tweet comes out, you could get blown up, not blown up, but you could lose a few points there.
Yeah, no, that's
so just
really,
FYI.
That's really good, Zunaid. I really appreciate that, because honestly, I don't follow what Zach Morris is doing very often, but it is absolutely good to know about that. If something like that is happening. Webcoin, thank you very much. 1 for 50 reverse split. It looks like on what did you have there? October 3rd. I don't see it in here. It's probably in one of these forms here. Anyway, I'll go through it, but that's good. That's good to know, Zunaid. Zach Morris pump. That's probably why this is on today. So just be careful. Knowing that might even have reduced position sizing in a stock like this. FNHC. Sorry, we were on FNHC. This stock. This has really made a move from like 20 cents, I believe. This was a legit penny stock. Yep, 25 cents, and it started making all these huge moves. It was 12 cents before the first move. So I don't know when this party ends. So the way that I would do this is, again, I would just try to trade this with just scalps. The fact that it's over $1 now, I really like. That's great. Hopefully it'll be a little bit easier to trade. We are extended here. What I'd be waiting for on FNHC is a pullback to a support level. The last time we were waiting for this, it just ran out of the gate. So if that happens, that's fine. We're going to take a look at some other opportunities. We're going to be scanning for relative volume all day, as we normally do. But what I would really like to see this do is settle around a support level and give us a little bit easier of a trade, at least in terms of the entry. 10X, this is another penny stock. We've actually traded this one before. I know I've seen this in the chat quite a bit. BNTC is another penny stock here. I'm not sure that we've traded it. ATXI making some more moves here. So this has been a recent trader for us. We've talked quite a bit about it. It's made some pretty outstanding moves recently, both to the up and the downside. So it looks like one of the things that we're looking at right here, we're pretty gappy up to 584. We're currently at what, 395. So a move through this area and a break into that gap might give ATXI some fireworks today. This is definitely something that we should keep on watch. That level there, 420 is going to be the main level. Nice. We do need to have this move through 4, and we definitely need to see buying volume still. If the volume in this dries up, I expect this to retrace something fierce. So we're definitely going to need the volume to stay high or to stay elevated. A move through 4 towards this 411 and 420 should get some more eyeballs on this too. And again, if we're able to pop into that gap, we could see some fireworks on this. Next is going to be Fubo. I believe we had someone in the chat yesterday saying that Fubo was going to 100. I'm not going to say that. I don't think that's the case, but the stock is up today. We do have a catalyst here. Fubo shares are trading higher after the company issued preliminary Q3 North American revenue results above prior guidance. Company also reported a 27% increase in North America paid subscribers and ceased operation of Fubo Sportsbook. That's interesting. So they stopped the gambling aspect of it. Anyway, we're up here. I would love to see a break through some of these key levels. First one to watch is going to be 471, 479 on the day high would be the one that we're going after. GOEV is on the list here today. This was on yesterday. Sorry, let me mute this real quick. GOEV, this was in play yesterday. Really what we need to see is the same type of volume action here today. Would love to see this buying volume. You can see you definitely get tradable action in here. We had what, 20 cents from the highs to the lows here in the first hour of the market. So pretty decent. We have a bigger range now. Well, one of the things I'd like to see if this is get some momentum to the upside early is a move through this 165, and I think you'll get a test of that 174 high. One of the things I'd like to see, GOEV has kind of been a grinder in the past, so I want to see if we actually get a pop if we move through some of these ranges. I suspect that might get sold. Now we had some bad news, I believe, on this. No, mixing it up with another one. Oh, it was Kano. It was Kano that we had the really bad news on, right? Kano Health. This was yesterday. Yeah, that's what it was. So very, very Canoe and Kano is where I was screwing that up. Anyway, GOEV, this is a grinder. So let's see if we can actually pop and clear out this formation. 174 high is what we're looking at. We're also going to be watching some of these ETFs because these have been pretty good for us. You'll notice here that the Bulls, BULZ, this is on the movers tool here today. Probably won't trade this one, but SOXL, SOXS, SPXS, and XPXL would be ETFs that I'd be trading to capture the back and forth movement of the SPY today. So we're going to watch those as well. And also right before here, it's not on the scanner here because of the volume filter, but we did have a pop here in DWAC on volume, an immediate retracement. You can see we still have a bunch of levels from the last time the stock was in here. This is not a stock that I trust long-term, but this has been an excellent day trading vehicle and even a swing vehicle. I remember Spencer buying this stock at what, $11 before it went to 100. Anyway, so keep this on radar. This stock likes to move around a lot. We did get a pop on volume here. Not really sure what it's about, but with all of the news swirling around about Twitter and Kanye and all of that stuff, maybe we get some action here in DWAC.
Kanye. Everybody love me some Kanye.
You ready, Mitch? What you got?
Well, the only thing I can say is don't be like James Corden and get banned from restaurants for being an asshole to wait staff. You got to be nice to your wait staff. Trust me. You don't want to see what happens behind closed doors to your food if you're an asshole. But I worked in the restaurant industry, and I kind of know that one right off the hop. I learned that one. You're nice.
So what have you done behind the scenes since you've been a part of the restaurant?
We are not going to say that publicly on stream. If you want to hit me up later, I will tell you some good stories. But I
don't even think I want to know. To be
that's
honest,
definitely more DM material than publicly announced material.
Please Slack it to me while I screen share.
No, but I mean, it's just like that. Always, I'm nice to bartenders. I'm nice to doormans. I'm nice to these are the people providing you service. Why are you going to be an asshole? That never helps. But that's just my, right off the hop moment today. Let's get into the market action as we take a look at the SPY up there towards 374. I can see it getting to 378 even today. So that still leaves room for the upside. Of course, this is rallying back on, of course, I don't think logical move. This isn't a rally just because I feel like something has changed in the market. What really I think you're seeing here is kind of optimism to the upside. And yes, you're getting it. It's continuing to drive things up. And I think you're going to get that drive a little bit further. But of course, this will start coming crashing back down as the headwinds will come back and hit us above our heads. And next thing you know, we'll be right back down. But that doesn't mean that we can't play it in the meantime. So that's what I will be looking for in the SPY, looking at trades like Tesla making a big move back up towards, let's say, like 240, 250. That would be a nice move there for Tesla. And then what happens? Earning right back down to 210. As simple as that, it could happen this week. So we'll see what happens today. Of course, GS coming out with some good earnings. You'll probably have the banks ripping. I mean, look at Goldman Sachs right now. It's already ripping from 309 up there towards 319. You can take a look. Bank of America ripping already. JPM ripping already. So if you want to look at a laggard in this play, I would only be looking at this for myself in the day trade mentality. But SoFi is already getting off the ground there and hasn't made the run with the banks. You got a couple of highs in the same area. Right around 519, it should start holding, and you want to see it take out this kind of wick to the left. That's 528 going to 530s. Let's see if we get that rip right out the gates today. And you can see today, kind of right underneath it, we're having some support in the pre-market around the 518s. Looking for a breakout above the 525s and going towards that 530. Of course, it's a smaller stock, so we can get a little bit more shares. But I think it'll be one that's in play today, especially if the banks are going to get a big move up. You could potentially see these also get a big move. You could also look at maybe like a BlackRock to make a nice little move. But now we're talking expensive stock, right? It all depends on what you want to trade. But if I wanted to trade BlackRock, I would look for a move back above 590s going to 600. You have it right above you right now, and you're already starting to get a little bit of an up move. We'll see what happens there in BlackRock. And of course, these are banks. They're not the biggest trades, but I like to do these sometimes as day trade. Another one to keep on watch today is Velodyne. So that's going to be LDR. Keep that one on radar. They signed a new multi-year agreement with Vizimine to provide customers with EMEA solutions, including mapping and vegetation management. So keep your eyes on Velodyne to get a little bit of a pop. This is a 98-cent stock right now. So I could see it doing that $1 move. If you're that type of player, I'm not holding back for you today. So keep your watch on that. Nice partnership news, 8.98 cents. Maybe looking for that pop through that $1. Trying to bring some different plays for you guys today and not just stick on the same plays that we talk about all the time. Of course, I'll go back to some of those as I just kind of doesn't sound the smartest, but of course, keep your eyes on the coal stocks. Those have been ones that have been trying to make moves and trying to make that next leg. BTU pulling back, holding support. That can be starting that move for the next move up. And on oil, keep your eyes on the 102 for XOM. Nice resistance right above it. Has tried to come up here multiple times. 1, 2, 3. It just tried to do that rip out on the fourth one. We don't want to see it break 100 at all. I'd be looking for that nice push out. If it breaks 100, I'd be actually looking at Exxon for potentially shorting it. It's either I have a feeling going to get that nice rip, or we're just going to start breaking down because we've been holding sideways for a little while now. And when you hold sideways, a lot of the times it's either going to give us that nice little breakout or breakdown. Normally, we're going to get out of this range, right? The big thing for me, though, is if you look at crude is down right now. WTI is down about 1.29 towards about 84. We want to see that trend reverse right at the bell. If that trend doesn't reverse, probably going to get cracked through that 100. So let's see what happens here. And of course, being slower after that first 15 minutes, I'm not going to take a single trade until at least 9:45 or after. All right, let's get through it. What's up out there, guys? So if Money Mitch and Zunaid buy lands in Scotland, would they be the lords?
Yes.
That sounds actually dope. That sounds what we should do.
I'm saying, guys, that's what I'm saying.
Zunaid, we got to become the lords.
Man, look, I just paid my taxes yesterday. I ain't got money to buy jack shit. All right, look.
Does that mean listen. That I always wanted to be knighted? I mean,
me too. Me too.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad about being knighted.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
Sir Money Mitch just has.
Sir Money Mitch does sound nice. It's got a nice little ring to it. That's for sure.
By the way, Lassie popping here
bow,
in the pre-market too.
So.
The Crow saying, I think it will be a bloodbath for Ahmed. So this is, I think that's absolutely possible. Let's put it that way. I'm obviously looking to trade this to the upside here today, as I do with all of these plays. But you're absolutely right, Crow. This could very easily be a bloodbath. I mean, even if this retraced down to 645, that's still over $1 from where we're at right now. That would still be pretty bloody. So I'm with you on that. This, again, what you're saying right here, this is exactly why I don't necessarily buy these stocks out of the gate. I wait for them to settle. I wait for them to trade a little bit. Hopefully they find support at a support area, and that will give me better entry. So I'm not going to chase any of these things. I always wait for my setups, but you're absolutely right. This could very easily sell off. Johan says, sorry, lads, you have to be British to be a knight. Totally fair. I get it. And I'm definitely not British, but awesome use of lads in the chat there. Really appreciate that.
I got German, but not British, unfortunately. Lucked out there. But
I'm brown through and through. That's all I got.
They got lords over there?
No.
No lords.
The way Zunaid answered that. Just
nope.
Perfect.
At least not that I know of. Man. I don't know.
Right? At least not that I'm one of them, right?
No, not even a little bit, dude. Not even a little bit.
All right, we'll see what happens today. We got to pay attention to see the markets right out the gates. I think another one to watch, of course, is Microsoft. Microsoft did have news out there confirming downsizing additional workers, and its revenue would be slower due to weaker sales of Windows licenses for PCs. PCs. And so they're already giving you a little bit of insight, I feel, into their earnings with that mention there, because they didn't need to include that. They could have just said that they're, downgrading because of macro headwinds. But they specifically stated their weaker sales of window licenses for PCs. That's showing me what? Demand down. And what have we been seeing from a lot of the semis? Demand down. What are they warning about? Demand down. Just trying to iterate there. And so you guys can catch it if you guys see it. We'll see what happens here right out the gate. Will the SPY go towards the 378, or will we get some downside action?
All right, so watching Ahmed here out of the gate. Again, not in it, not buying it right away. We're below VWAP. VWAP I have at 784, and it's beneath that right now, so 755. So we need this to find footing before we can take a long on it.
There was one that I was willing to maybe take a shot on, but it's just too hard. It's too difficult to take a shot on a stock like that. And then that's where I think it's difficult to take one is SOX. It's coming down fast there, but I think it could reverse if the SPY just comes down a little bit. But I'm going to wait. I'm going to be patient. See what happens today.
You can go ahead and see that Netflix just straight up down, I guess. Straight up down. So unfortunately, we're going to miss that.
Maybe let's go.
Right. We missed that exit. I mean, maybe I should have went and gotten short in the pre-market because clearly I was right on that, but that's on me. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel this trade out because it to me no longer applies since it already kind of made its move to the downside.
And real quick, folks, we got an email yesterday.
05 pushing.
We got an email yesterday regarding some of the numbers being difficult to see on the stream. So continue to give us some feedback on that. There are some things that we can actually make adjustments for, other things that we can't. One of the easy things here is going to be the chart. We spend a lot of time looking at charts together, so we might as well just make sure that they're easy to read. Let me know if the numbers along the side, along the axis of the chart are easier, and you can tell what ticker it is by bringing up the chart. Happy to make adjustments so that it's easier for you folks to see out there.
Yeah, I already made some adjustments. You'll see it there, and the pricing there is a little bit easier to read for you guys. Definitely. I'll try to do my best for you guys. Yeah.
So like I said, we are absolutely open to that feedback. Some things we can control. Other things are more difficult to control. Just keep that in mind. We definitely want to make the experience better for everybody. Now, anyway, back to trading. ATXI, we are moving up here out of the gate. Really want to see it take out some of these levels. 421 or 420. Let's see. 420. We're going to make it 420 for the fellas. 420 seems to be the level here. We'll see if we can get above that.
What's the SPY doing? Did we take out the 378 or 376? No, we're still battling there in the 375 50s. That's where we were battling kind of, and we got to see right now, there's kind of a trend line that we could run right back into around the 374. See what happens here. Taking a look at the SoFi, it did do that 530 move already. Wanted it to pull back to VWAP. It didn't really necessarily go back to VWAP there. So looking for a pullback now that we're getting above that 530s on SoFi.
Let's see if we can go ahead and do this.
Ding, 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 ding.
Come on. Not really sure I see anything I like necessarily.
Your wish is my command. Technology taking lead now. Basic materials right behind that. What's doing well in basic materials today? Building materials, agricultural inputs, so maybe an MOS having a good day there. 3% move up. We'll see if it pulls back here. Steel having a decent day today. Also, X gonna give it to me. It's gonna give it to me. Cleveland Cliff up also 1.54%. We'll see if these start getting going here. SPY overall starting to pull back a little bit. Be careful with the Qs. Qs starting to pull back now, as I think we're going to get a little bit of a pullback here. SOX getting that huge bounce off the 67. That's kind of the level that I was looking to buy off of that pullback. But it was just scary. And I think you got to go in with very small size and to try to take advantage of that type of move. But now we're starting to see that reversal. Will this last? I don't think it can. But we'll have to see here if the SPY holds the pullback to 374 and bounces there, or do we start getting some breakdown there? Tesla already breaking down.
ATXI took that 420 spot and was immediately yanked back, but we're curling back through it now. So I didn't grab it on that first attempt here, but I'm kind of stalking ATXI at this point. What I'd really like to see is a little bit of a sell, some selling pressure that gets met with buying. We'll see if we end up getting it here. Starting to push away from that 420. Oh, nope, yanked as soon as all I had to do was talk about it, and it just yanked it right back down.
You've got SPY trying to test VWAP, possibly a bounce here. Like that 375 area is going to be key.
ATXI feeling a little heavy here. Kind of do want to try it on this pullback and see if I can get it to work. Might go in a little bit lower size here. Let's see.
Just got that VWAP test there for SoFi. I wanted to come down just slightly below here. It's only about, what, 5 cents plus side for about 2 cent risk. So I'd have to come in with bigger sizing if I want to grab this move. I'm going to wait for a second here. Do like the pullback, but I need to see the SPY kind of finish its pullback, take out the highs there. As we're at 9:35 here, team, let's see what we find. If you guys have tickers that are moving in the chat, let us know what is moving out there. The Knights of the Trading Table, says Zen Bullish.
Knights of the Trading Table. I got to say, I kind of like that. I kind of like that. By the way, ATXI here flirting with breaking through 4 to the downside and popping back to 410. I'm going to put an order out here, small order out for 405. And see if we get that filled on a yank. Stop probably 390 on the smaller piece.
I like that.
I'm doing my best to be disciplined and not chase this because it's yanked several times already, and I expect another one here. But that doesn't mean it can't make a nice power move through the highs. So I'd like to get filled on a pullback. We'll see if it happens.
I'll try to join you around 403.
Okay.
So I adjusted the layout here for us, team. If you are noticing that it's blocking something on your chart that you're trying to show, just make sure that we're hitting the full screen button, and it'll just remove us there.
Okay.
You can see it right on the layouts there.
And if you hit that full screen button again, does it revert?
No, you have to do the one to the left of it.
Gotcha.
Right there.
Gotcha.
Boom.
Okay. Perfect.
There you
We're
go.
always trying to get better here. We're trying to get better here.
Yeah, and they said that it looks better when it's full screen. So this at least keeps that full screen there for you guys so that you guys have it as big as possible. We want you guys to be able to see our charts and be able to see what we're pointing out. Because if not, I mean, then we're not showing you process at all. It's not about the trades. It's about how they're done that matters.
I'm going to see if I can play a short trade here. Just what did I buy? Bought the 375 puts expiring December 16th. I got filled at 1668. Currently it's 1658. You can get it cheaper than I did. Stop loss is going to be a crack above 375.50s for me.
SPY still battling here.
Stocks are battling. ATXI currently at 410. I'm hoping that this can fill and get and bounce, but we'll see. This feels like it's getting a little bit heavier here.
You've also got, I mean, it's just 5 minutes, but like you can look at the minute chart, just continues to make lower highs. So yeah, I definitely think we could get filled at 4. The question is, do we drop below 395? That's what I don't want.
Yeah, and I have a small size, so if I get filled and stopped out right away, not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. Also watching Goldman Sachs here, continuing to be strong here. Filled, okay. So we'll see.
All right, I've gotten filled here as well. And are we going to get stopped out?
Nice little support there at 4. Broke beneath 4. Let's see if we get a bounce here. That's what I would really like.
SoFi doing well here. Looking to see if I get in this now or if I want to go for maybe another one that I see showing up, which is Rocket going up with some of the financial stocks today. But I need to see Rocket make a move.
ILAG, nice call, Crow. That is moving here off the bottom. We'll focus on this once we close this ATXI trade.
I'll take a look at it. Interesting. It's a gap down on the daily. Could try to fill in some of that gap. Yesterday it went down, but 389 is what you really need to see for the first resistance. It could push. I just don't like the way the setup is on the daily.
All right, looks
To
like I'm
each
going to
his
get
own.
stopped out here in a minute or two.
Looks like it
All
for
right.
me. Yep, there we go.
Looks like I'm out.
All right. Well, we tried. 0 for 1 today. I'm still not going to take ATXI off the watch list here. I think that this could get going later on. Volume here is really, really impressive. So we'll wait for it to set up again. Hopefully it will. Meantime, we've got some other places to take a look at. Let's take a look at ILAG real quick. This is what Crow was looking at here. Let me throw that up here. So ILAG moving here off the bottom. Again, this one also fairly tough to trade. Likes to do a lot of yanks. Crow, I'd be interested to know what your levels are. It is low volume so far, but I'd be interested to know what your levels are here on ILAG. For me, it looks like first place 330 and then probably 358 as the level. Let me go ahead and mark those just so I don't have to do this again.
You've got the SPY currently trying to break VWAP. Keep an eye on those puts that we got. Manage your trade.
Here comes that resistance line. So there's a trend line that it's running into right now. You guys can see that from the 5-minute right there. You're running right into it. So let's see if it holds at 374 now. If it does crack through 374, next level down, we're going to look for the resistance here. That's going to be a move towards 373. We'll see if it holds at 374, makes a move back up through 375 for that bullish break. Leading on the day, basic materials. What is doing well there? Agricultural inputs. We talked about it. MOS. Not a bad move there on MOS today. Up about 4%. You can look at UAN. You can look at seed. What's another one? CF is another decent one there. Energy starting to get into the green. XOM, how's that? Held that pullback to 100s, starting to go back toward the resistance. We talked about that 102.30 area. We're going to run right into it. See it on the 4-hour chart here, 102.50s. We need to get through there going towards 103. And a big part of that is if crude could turn around. That's what I mentioned in the pre-market. Now let's see where it is right now. Looks like we're getting a little bit of a bounce back at the open. We want to see that actually drive up there towards 85. We'll see what happens there in crude.
On Google, I've got a couple of orders out there to purchase shares at $100.12 and $100.01, especially with the $100 level there and the previous close being there. I like it for at least a half a point of a scalp if I can get that.
I like the chart that Ron's looking at, SWN, just mentioning it, but go ahead, Ron.
Yeah, no, awesome stuff. I wanted to answer Jingle here real quick. Can you check on AVCT? So AVCT, that's American Virtual Cloud. We had a good day yesterday. Really kind of held the gains, really kind of traded above that VWAP all day. Today we popped here in the pre-market, came back into VWAP, and now we've actually taken out that 242 level. So what I've done here is I have the levels from the other day. So 267 next. I would hope that would get tested here, then maybe 282 and 293. So we'll see if we can make our way towards 3 here on AVCT. I have no position at this right now. I want to see how this actually kind of settles here. I'm not confident that it goes straight to 267 right now. Otherwise, I would just buy some. But I think that there might be a little bit more kind of trading back and forth here before we make our next move. But hopefully this is what you were looking at, Jingle, and let me know if you're in that.
Interesting chart right now is Target here. Nice little VWAP bounce setup here for an upside move. You'd be risking off around 157.50 area. If you want to go down to the support, that's 157. Looks interesting because it just has that kind of peaking outlook there. And so let's see if it comes right back up through there. But keeping an eye out on discount stores right now. SPY overall, it's bouncing right off of that 374 mark. Now let's see if it can recover VWAP here and get back to 374.50s. That could show us that upside look. There's a little bit of a push, 374.46. Look how it went right to 374.49. Very important price point to recover, 374.50 here. Let's see it get back through there. Then the next level to watch is 375, because then that starts pushing to the high of the day, which is around 375.45. So 375.50 is our breakout level on the SPY if you're a bull right now and you're looking to continue some of these runs. Yeah, 1 hour charts are awesome.
Still got a SPY just hanging around VWAP, waiting for it to crack on crack.
Crack on crack.
That's all we're waiting for, man. Just a little bit of crack.
KPRX was halted here. This was actually halted a few minutes ago. I'm a little late to this one. Halted at 790 off a big spike in volume and price. I'm willing to bet that this was pretty spread. So we'll see. And I'm also seeing a lot of Matterport calls come through here. That's MTTR, Matterport. Let me bring that up here. Let me know if you're seeing any of that, Zunaid. We did have a pop right here out of the gate, pretty good volume, and I'm seeing repeat call buying. Looks like the October 8th, the calls today, the $4 calls. We're still 18 cents away from that. Let's see if there were any other longer data.
What is the ticker? MTTR?
18.
Oh, I like this one.
Oh, the expiry is 11/18. Sorry.
I don't see that.
MTTR.
I don't see that. But what I do see is a SPY coming to the downside.
Yeah, SPY rolling over here.
Yo, buddy. I tried to go ahead and sell short. I'm still getting used to this trade station thing.
Yep.
Would have been a great money maker. But it's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and cancel this trade now.
To the downside.
Here we go. SPY.
YVR.
Looking for the VWAP bounce.
Another penny stock making some moves here. I think Becca, you were on this, weren't you? Someone mentioned this. Yeah, penny stock YVR up on earnings. So the penny stocks seemingly have been going recently. Urban Farms Project is asking, what are you watching that shows the Matter incoming calls? All right, we're going to test out this fancy new full screen mode here. And I'll remove your comment real quick. I use the unusual option activity add-on in Benzinga Pro, and I prefer to use it via the calendar because the calendar allows me to apply filters like size filters. In this case, I have security type because I turned ETFs off, but you can also do total trade volume. So in here, you can see MTTR, there's just multiple, another one, MTTR. So there's just multiple buys here in the unusual options activity within Benzinga Pro. Hope that answers your question. Urban Farms Project. Good to see you again this morning. Now we'll put us back up there. I can get used to this. I'll probably screw it up, but I can get used to it.
Yeah, there's only so much of our face that people need to see.
That's true. That's true. Ahmed Crow, you have called this correctly from the open. Congratulations. This thing tried to bounce here, tried to find some support in the 730 handle, tried to make a move through VWAP. Very, very short-lived. Looks like we're breaking down here again. Question is really going to be, where do we find this support? Actually, this sold off to a pretty decent support level. Support in form of resistance level. Let me mark the one under it as well. So we'll see if this comes in a little bit more. Ahmed, so far, Crow, you're all over it. It has been a bloodbath from the open. AVCT continuing higher. So unfortunately, my hesitance to actually buy that break above 242 looks like it's going to cost me here unless we can pull back. So 267 is definitely looks to be the next spot. If you did, in fact, take AVCT, someone else was mentioning this in the chat. I'll tell you what, our chat has been so active that I'm struggling to remember everybody that mentions a ticker. That's a great sign. Great sign, folks. Jingle, I think you were watching AVCT, but I think somebody else was as well. Next spot here, 267. If you're in with size, I would say you could probably take some of that off. If we break that, 282 probably on deck here, AVCT. Sucks, I did not buy this one.
All right, I'm long here on SOX S, so playing the bearish move here. I have it drawn out for you guys. The rule of three above VWAP. So up one, down one, up two, down two, up three. As soon as I saw this spike, instead of getting long there, I waited for the pullback into the support. Just got long there at the 68.95. Going to look for it to get back through the 69.70. That would be the breakout look. Support underneath it around 68.54. We shouldn't break that. So let's see what happens here.
Netflix moving here, Zunaid.
Yep, it is, and it's kind of interesting because you've got also the SPY. You can see the wick on the 5-minute.
Here, I got you.
Mine up, thank you. You've got the wick here on the 5-minute candle. Of course, we are short. We're up $30 per contract, but now I think we might be close to break even. I haven't checked that in a minute, but now you've got Netflix. Now that 250 area. I'm a little hesitant to go short. I think I'd rather wait till 252 possibly, or go up with the retest and see if we can get that. But You can see it's kind of bouncing. Not quite sure what it's going to do, but I'm still short SPY. I don't like the wick. But if SPY goes ahead and breaks this 374.50 area, I could go ahead and get stopped out. I might wait for the candle to close, but I do not like the wick. And you know what? This is on me. Here's why. Because I should have seen this level here that was resistance, which is clearly acting as support here on the SPY. So that's on me. But, you know, we live and you learn. I should have known to take profits there. That SPY looking to come up above VWAP. You want to explain the rule of three, Mitch?
Yeah, so one of the things is you're looking for a lot of times in patterns, right? Whether it be a flag pattern, a pendant, a wedge. A lot of times we're going to see 3 tests of resistance, 3 tests of support. That's the pattern consolidation area. And what you're looking for is actually watching for the resistance and support touches. That's why I call out the rule of 3, because what it does is instead of looking for entry, you're looking for the stock to create a resistance. What this does is helps it start getting the real price range that you want to get in. Helps me not chase in stocks and lets me attack stocks in a manner that I could look for the pullback. Like right here on this last spike, on the 3rd spike, instead of you saying you want to get long, you're looking for the pullback. You're like, come back to me. Come back to me. Get it, get it, get it. Boom, let's go. Let's swing it up. And that's what I tried to do here on success and waiting for the pullback. Now I'd look for the breakout. And it should break out on that next attempt. So the next attempt, we shouldn't struggle to stay up in this price zone. We should break through that price zone and continue going. If it does struggle there, then we could potentially break that support on the next test. It's not 100, but I'll tell you one thing. Look around and you tell me what you guys think of that pattern.
And real quick, AVCT, I'm definitely kind of bummed at this. I'm bummed at this because I didn't have it on my screen and I wasn't fast enough to get to where I was going. And I wanted it to pull back. And it didn't. It just kept going away. It kept moving away. So the plan here, this actually worked. Break through 242, send it to the next level. If you're still in this, definitely trim some here. We're waiting for the next level here at 282. Volume is expanding. Volume seems good here. So just a bummer I didn't take this one. A little too conservative. This trade ended up working pretty much textbook to what we were looking at here. We'll find another one though. We will find another one.
Took a quick little scalp on SPY. You can see my order was filled in this bar here when I was testing VWAP. My stop loss was above the 374.50, and I went ahead and covered right here. Just a quick little scalp. Still have my put position here, which for the folks, if you're just joining us, I'm in the December 16th 375 puts. My fill price is $16.68, currently trading at 17. So we're up about $33. Sorry, I just got distracted with a Slack. Up $33 per contract. I'm kind of holding on because I have a small position size. So to get my gains that I want percentage-wise and whatnot, I'm waiting to see if I can go ahead and get to this 372.50. I don't know if it'll be while we're on the show or not, but what do you out of update us here?
I just took another little piece of success off right at the top of that range where we struggled. And so I took some as soon as we got into that price range. And now I just took a little bit off in the 80s there, specifically 74. I got a little bit of the pullback there. But now I got the breakout. And now there you go. Rule of 3 played to a key. And that, my friends, is going to be right there, our trade of the day. Trade of the day on success. Not a bad one here. Going to probably sell out the remainder here. Boom. Just sold on that spike there. Boom. Still got a little piece here. Out. There we go. Bouncing back type of day. Let's go.
Well done, pal. Real quick, I am going to go ahead and now sell my SPY contracts to start scaling out here. Up about 5%. First scale out is 1738. We got in at 1668. Out about half size here at 1738. Moving my stop losses up to now break even. I cannot go red on this trade. Let's go.
Couple of things here just to kind of catch up with. Great job, boys. First of all, Kindred Duke, what's going on, Glenn? You have some inside information. Somehow you knew that Jonathan Taylor wasn't going to play, so you traded him to me. You won that one, at least so far. Good stuff. W is asking about Veru. So yeah, I still like Veru. This has given us a lot of great trades. Here's my issue with Veru. Let me pull up my chart. And guys, if you want to chart this too, I'd love to hear what your thoughts on it are as well. For me, Veru, we're kind of in no man's land, right? We can see that this stock swings back and forth in this range quite a bit. And I'd like to not participate in the chop. We're already having enough trouble with chop in the market. I don't necessarily want to buy some of these shorter term trades only to be chopped up. Looking at this chart here, I really want to see this move through 13. I have it marked off on the chart as 1301, but let's call it 13. I think if we move through 13 on volume, the next spot here could be 1457. And I think that if it rejects, we'll be able to cut that quickly. So we're going to have pretty good risk reward on Veru if we can get a little bit higher. I would like it to kind of trade up and trade down on its way there, so we don't have an immediate pullback as soon as we get to the 13 level or a break above that 13 level. So I still like Veru, but for me, even on today, I mean, today, if we look at the 1 minute chart, it's really, really strong today. For me, it's just, I don't have a reliable entry trigger. I wasn't watching it on the break of high a day. Volume is not gigantic yet, so let's give Veru some time. Veru has surprised us. It's been a very good trade a number of days, and it might be that in the future. You like that, Zunaid? That was just for you, baby.
Okay.
That was just for you.
You caught my attention.
That's true. I did also get Cooper, and I did finally pull out a win. I got off the schneid. I was winless prior to this week, so hopefully he comes back. By the way, I picked up.
You know who's leading?
You're not in that league. This is
no, that's why. That's why.
We're in all kinds of leagues, Mitch.
All types of leagues. We're in a league of ourselves. It's called trading. GS looking interesting here now, guys. I'm taking a look at it right now. I'm liking this setup here off of the 318.15 mark. And you can see how GS had up one, down one, up two, down two, up three, down threes, trying to hold that 318 now. It looks like it wants to come back and try to push here. So that would be a reversal for the market to come back up here. It looks good. I'm a little bit late to the move here, but I just had to figure out my sizing here. Would like for it to get up there towards the 320s, then pull back slightly towards 319. Then I could use that 319 to go off of it. We'll see what happens here. Will GS get that break? And when if they do get that break, maybe look for some of these to kind of catch back. Bank of America to get a nice little push. JPM, we'll see what happens. Citi, right off the VWAP.
Yeah, one of the discussions that we had in the happy hour yesterday regarding the banks is some of the smaller banks might be ones to watch, right? The commentary about the consumer might be helpful. They're not involved in some of the things that these larger multinational banks are involved in. So I think what was it? Associated ASB, I think is one of them that's reporting in 2 days. Yeah. So, okay. So this reports Thursday after the market closes. Mitch, if you have a copy of that earnings graphic, I think there's other banks on there that you kind of watch out for.
You scroll up, you can literally just find it. I'll get it for you.
Okay.
There it is.
Awesome. So Citizens is going to be tomorrow before the open, which means if you're going to play it with options, you got to do it today. M&T Bank is also tomorrow morning. Looking at this. There's Associated Bank is Thursday after the close. So there's a couple of smaller banks in here that you might be able to play off the bank movement here today. So,
okay, I'm starting to see a trend here of semiconductor equipment and materials breaking down. I'll take off the earnings calendar to show you guys it. The top leader, ASML, coming down fast. AMAT coming down. LRCX coming down. KLAC coming down fast, all very similar. And this is an area that I'm already looking at for shorts. So we'll see what happens here. I'm seeing these semis come down. That will help the Stocks S trade, but I'm already out of that. I'd have to look for a pullback off of the VWAP. That's still looking good there. Be careful with a stock like AMD and Nvda. Those could start breaking down here as I'm starting to see some of these semi-equipment stocks break down.
And real quick, AVCT, which we talked about. Sorry, I was watching Drug. Drug is popping here. I'm a little late. I actually got this from someone on Twitter. AVCT is approaching that day high here. So this has already been strong. If we clear out this formation and break above 269 is your day high, but this 267 level might still be in play. AVCT might not be done here. Jay Rice saying lots of fades in the large cap growth names from the opening.
Yep.
Bingo, Jay. And that was one of the things that we talked about here. We wanted to see if this market was going to reverse. We wanted to see how some of these names would go. You had mentioned a couple here. I'm just going to roll through them real quick. Netflix down from that 250 rejection that Zunaid outlined perfectly. Frankly, nice job, Zunaid. Amazon down. Looks like it's trying to bounce off its VWAP, but really or struggling to really kind of get any type of upside movement. And then you had also mentioned Google, which is, of course, Alphabet, down here as well. What does Apple look like? Let's check on Apple. Apple a little bit stronger, but looks similar.
And Tesla down also. If you take a look at from the open here, and you'll find a lot of these are some bigger stocks that are down big. So just be careful out there, team. There's a lot of kind of trickery going on where the change in the percentage is going to be in the plus because it's gapping up and it's on a big gap up. But from the open, Tesla's down about 3.31%.
MNMD popping. Anyone see anything on this one? MNMD. That's Mind Medicine. They do the psilocybin stuff. I don't see any news for it.
Well, trust me, I see it, but it's in my mind.
Oh, Mitch.
It's in my mind. The
nice
Mind Medicine.
Nice little 30-cent move here off the bottom, honestly. Not quite a million shares, but we're closing in on that. MNMD. I'm going to look on Twitter and see if I can find anything. I didn't see anything news related. Maybe there's a chat room or something on this.
Richard, just be very careful if you are going to try to swing Netflix, whether it's to the upside or downside with earnings, as you already mentioned. It can put your blood pressure up a little too much than you may like. So just be careful.
It's hard having a great day.
Split recently?
No idea. What price is it trading at? What stock?
Checking.
MindMed?
MindMed. MNMD. MNMD had a reverse 1 to 15 stock split on August 29th. That's 8/29.
Yeah, that was when it was at $12. It lost all that money.
So that's about a month and a half ago.
Oh, good Lord.
That's about a month and a half ago. Let me see if there's anything else.
Splits are not good when you hear reverse.
So
someone mentioned Coinbase to the downside. I'm going to see if I can play Coinbase for maybe a 50-cent scalp or so at 69.21.
Nice move, GS, guys. Bank's coming back. I think we're going to start finally seeing that push. I'm willing to take the SoFi trade, at least to the upside. This is going to be a little bit higher position because I'm just going to look for a nice little scalp above the 530s. It's just so small. It's not a bad trade. It's just too small for me. I actually even like maybe even rock it a little bit more. Starting to come back here. There's some plays that I think we're going to have here in the banks.
See if I can
Bank of America.
Some more SPY if it gets to 373.89.
Like maybe even playing like a sock sell reversal style right now.
FNHC looks like it's flirting with this 110 level. It'd be interesting to see if we can break above that. There's been some decent size here at 108, 102 and 108 and 98 cents. Here we go. Looking like we're coming up to 110 here on FNHC.
Netflix trying to push back here. SPY trying to push back. It's just coming close to the VWAP. Needs to recover 374. Still haven't recovered that price. That's Lockheed. Nice little pattern on Lockheed Martin. LMT, look at that pattern there. I'm sorry I bought to you guys a second late there. If we were, just 3 minutes ago, look at that. Nice little pattern. Rule of 3 coming into play here. Right off the VWAP at 10 a.m., going back to the high. These are the type of patterns that I love, team. Take a note on pattern like this. This is what we want to be looking for.
Let's see if I can download this. Let's see if I can go ahead and make this.
That's a nice move there. GS was a nice one too. We would have got there around the 319s, looking for the push towards the high of the day. You just got that push there. You could have been selling into that move. Now let's see if we get continuation move through that. That could help us start to see the SPY come back. Tesla's really the one that I'm starting to see leak out. That's not a good sign there for the markets. First, Tesla's earnings coming up.
E2 Computers, RF earnings in 3 days, just starting to recover from the morning move down. So this actually gapped up here a little bit. Now, the first move out of the open, I think this is what you're talking about. First move out of the open here was down. This is great to see because they immediately bought it back. Now we're higher. Now we're pushing towards highs. I'm obviously partial to this ticker, folks. I really like ticker RF. I think you can probably understand why. I don't own any of this, but I do like it. The banks have been tough for me to trade. So let me tell you something. If the banks became a better trade, I'd absolutely love this, and I'd be looking for this. RF has earnings in 3 days on Friday morning before the market opens.
SPY still battling here. I think it's going to take all of a sudden a nice lift, but it needs to get that lift. I'm not going to react until then.
Yeah, we're short just 50 shares on TradeStation. I don't have that same trade on E-Trade. I still do just have my puts that I've had since the initial rejection of VWAP. So we'll see. You can see my take profit is down there at 373.10. My stop loss is going to be at 374.68. Entry price is 373.89. Currently $8 because I am a G in the money.
So the Lockheed Martin, what would be the entry on a trade like that, AAB? Of course, I'm just setting it up. We didn't take it, but off of the VWAP is what I like on there. You could use the 5-minute or the 3-minute, and that would have helped you there see. And so you're looking for the VWAP bounce. And so you could have either got in on this 9:57 candle or on the 10 a.m. candle. And so they both bounced off the VWAP. VWAP is around 406.31, and then on this candle, it's at like 406.36. But you get through towards 405.41. So you got to give yourself about a point on a name like this. But if you look at the ATR tells you that 3.54. So on average, this is going to move 3.54 range. I always say at least a half of that ATR. So you're going to be looking at more like a 1.7 of the risk. And so you have to risk about $2 there. Towards the support is another way that you can use it. Look to the left. That'd be that 403.60s. And then you're looking for the move back towards 410. And so that's a 4-point move up off of about 2-point risk.
Fubo doesn't look like 100 is in the cards here today. Fubo's move from the open is just down.
How disappointing.
You know what told me that Fubo wasn't going to 100 other than just the rumors out there? Was that when I had Fubo on their free trial and they don't even have TBS. You can't even watch the Yankees games right now.
Yankees play today at 4, I think.
Well, they won't be watching it on Fubo because they don't have it.
Wait, the game didn't happen yesterday?
No, the game. We got rained out. Yeah, rained out. Got rained out.
Oh, so the game didn't start at all.
No, yeah, it didn't start.
Look at AVCT.
All right, DS trying to make that breakout move now. We'll see what happens there in Goldman Sachs. SPY now wants to try to make that move to VWAP. Let's see if we can actually get above the VWAP there. It keeps fighting here, that 374. That's why I wanted to first see it claim that 374. What do I mean by claim? That means a close on these candles above that level, not our wicks, because we know what those wicks are. They're tricks. Charles Schwab. I was even looking at a rocket today.
Are you humming Bollywood again, Zunaid?
I keep forgetting. No, this time it is, I believe it's Arabic. I don't even know what it is.
Ooh, Mara getting pounded today.
I want to say it's Arabic.
Silvergate came out with earnings, and that was not a good one.
AVCT is going to this 282.
For anyone that cares, it's in the chat just for fun.
280s.
282, man. That spot here. Let me throw it up on my chart. This is the spot that we identified. Look at this. Look at this move. This is so. Remember when we crossed 267, I was saying if you had taken it from 242, trim some. So we regress a little bit towards the VWAP, completely normal. And then we take that spot out again. So if you have your trailer here, we're 1 cent away, take some here. You could actually probably close the whole thing here. You know, the one thing that I'd be looking for is, does this really pop and explode, right? Does this really start to accelerate? 293 going to be our next spot. So maybe you want to hold a trailer for that. AVCT, this has worked quite a bit, and I just passed on it. It's a bummer, but let's still go over the process so that when we see this next time, maybe we can execute a little bit quicker. Great move here.
BJ with a nice little push up. So I'm looking at some of these discount stores potentially to make a trade. Dollar Tree, Target, looking at Walmart. That's above VWAP already. Dollar Tree looks interesting. DG was not a bad stock. Of course, it's pulled back a significant amount. Let's see if it gets some lift today. Just looking at to see what's moving. Defensives are a little bit into a lead there and haven't pulled back as much. Utilities, of course, bouncing after they've been crushed lately. How are oil stocks doing? Let's take a look here. XOM battling. It's battling. It's tried to make a move. Look at that 102.33. It stood up again, this time going to 102.35 and using it as resistance. We'll see if it comes back here. XOM. Gush. Will it gush?
Larry, good shout here. QNRX. This is pulling up here. Nice little move here. This is a perfect setup. What I'd be looking for here is a 274 break. Think maybe if you wanted to front run this a little bit, 259, right? Is that 259 or 260? 260 probably. Yep. Nope. 259. So maybe on a break at 259, we probably test 274. Similar action to AVCT. Good spot here. Good volume. Appreciate you bringing this. This was not on our list. Appreciate you bringing this here, Larry.
I'm going to go ahead and cut my SPY scalp short since the 5-minute candle closed above VWAP. I do believe this could still work, but I'm just going to go ahead and manage if I can figure out how to close this trade. I'm just going to go to TradeStation. Where is it?
Whoa. AVCT announces $10 million offering. Look at the chart. What a dump is right. So as soon as it got to that level, they released the news and this thing got absolutely crushed. Folks, exactly why we take profits on the way.
Remember, we talked about how, look, sometimes those news come at interesting levels. We talked about Netflix at 350. Now you've got AVCT at 282.
This is why I stay away from stocks.
They didn't even wait.
Guys.
They didn't even wait till the after hours. They just did
this
the
is too
much.
All
right,
me.
we're up big. Let's just do an offering real fast.
That right there is too much for me. That right there is too much. That's why I try to stay away from these little ones. I mean, you guys can handle these all you want. And I see you guys killing it, so I'm not mad about it. But I'll just say that not my cup of tea. That right there could be an account killer. And I don't like that news. That would just, I mean, let's just be honest, guys. When you have a bigger account and you lose a whole account, I mean, that's detrimental. So one of the things that I learned immediately when I started getting back into more money into accounts and not just making these little small accounts is that for me, this reward of it going maybe to 3 or 4 is never enough for me to risk a type of move like this. So I try to stay away from these.
Real quick, Jay saying, glad I'm already out of AVCT. Yeah, exactly. And that's
I'm glad for you, Jay.
That's part of why people love day trading so much, is because you can actually get your gains and get out. Now, Jay, on the other hand, we've talked quite a bit about having some of these stocks that are really, really low price. Jay's right here as well. Exactly, Mitch. Those little ones can rug pull anytime. Jay, I will say most of the time they wait until the after hours to release an offering, but as you just saw right here, it doesn't have to be that way. You're right. These little names can yank. It's very important if you're going to trade them to take profit on the way up.
So here's a question. When they do these offerings, right, when do they actually end up selling those shares? Like, because I'm sure it's not immediately, right? It's not like, oh, hey, here's an offering. Cool. We just sold our shares. Like, is it like a few days away or what?
They'll tell you in the release. It's usually on the close.
Let me look.
They'll tell you in the release. the specific timing, and it'll be like on business day close.
45 days. The warrants are exercisable 45 days following the date of issuance and will expire 2 years from the initial date. And that's not what you're looking for.
So Stack says the shares have been sold. So that's the thing. It's like, have they already sold and they're letting the public know, which by the way is scummy, or is it more so like, hey, you know what I mean?
I'm pretty sure this is what you're looking for. The closing of the offering and the concurrent private placement is expected to occur on or about October 20th, subject to the satisfaction of customary closing conditions.
All right.
So today's Tuesday, right? That's Thursday?
Yeah. Okay.
Stock's breaking down, man. I don't see the run that we were kind of looking for above the 374. I mean, we might start breaking down again here.
I've got my all right, never mind.
I would be interested to see.
Where'd your screen go? Sorry.
Did I miss it?
No, yeah, but it was literally, I'll show you guys the timestamp, but go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm interested to see how this trades when it opens up. Now I'm curious, Zunaid. You got me curious.
Bro, okay. So I went ahead and went short. So here's, you guys know I'm playing with TradeStation. I have a little bit of fun. So I literally went ahead and placed my SPY short. Where is it? Order was executed at 35. All right. So 10 o'clock, 15 minutes, 35 seconds. And my profit taking already happened 3 seconds later. So literally as I opened my mouth, it had already executed. But let me go ahead and talk about why I went ahead and took the trade in the first place. So you guys know a short SPY the first time made money. It was short SPY second time. I lost money because the 5-minute candle closed above VWAP. I got out. Then the 5-minute candle closed below VWAP. So my sell order was right here. Let me see if I can go to the minute. I mean, not that it's going to make a difference because it's profits in the same thing. But I went ahead and sold short, and my stop loss is going to be above 374.50 because you can look left and see, hey, look, we had resistance, can't get above, can't get above, can't get above. I was like, cool, that's the spot I want to get out. And it was just a risk of one-to-one trade. And then I went ahead and got out here on this blow to the downside. So that's the reason I took the trade. I apologize, but a scalp for 3 seconds is how it happens. What are you short, pal?
ASML, that semiconductor. I was battling myself with either shorting Netflix or ASML. Netflix looked good short also off the 248. If you see the 248 get squeezed after this, then that could be another setup for you bull traders that like Netflix right now.
By the way, AVCT open and headed to the downside. 196 is the last trade that I've got. Let's go ahead and move that one away. Take a look at SPY, coming right back up a little bit.
$2 now on AVCT after the open. Oh God, is that nasty?
Yeah,
that is nasty. That's why it's important to have a news wire, by the way.
Amen to that. Amen to that.
Becca, can you look at INSG? It has had some decent news lately and has been slowly going up, but the volume still seems low. INSG, this is a 5G play. This is a favorite around the office. Or a former coworker here that really liked this, made some really good money on INSG. This rough looking chart. Hopefully, we've kind of found a bottom here. I'd love to see this consolidation area taken out. So I think above 250, maybe a stab, and then maybe 322 is your next spot if we can start to move back up here. I'm not sure on the actual fundamentals of the company and how it's doing here, but I know that this was a popular 5G play in the past. Decent bottomed chart here. If I was trading this, I'd trade this stop at 168. I'd trade this against the lows. Ripon, Dan, I'd like to hear your thoughts on. Oh, I don't even have my screen up. For heaven's sakes, I'm so sorry. So here's the chart that I was just talking about. Pretty bottomed out. This would be the stop that I'm looking at. I want to clear out this area right here, 251, and then 322. Can't see your chart. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Which news wire do you recommend? Infinity, Benzinga Pro. Is the one that we recommend pretty much exclusively. And the cool thing about it is you can go into the description in this video and try our 2-week trial, no credit card required. Try it out, see if it works for you. Benzinga Pro, definitely the best newswire out there. So in Seago, this is an interesting one. I'd like to do a little bit more DD on this, but the chart does look bottom, Becca. Sorry. Ooh, that's bad.
Will we crack on the SPY? Head through the 372.50s or 46, and the Qs through 274. I'm looking for some downside here. Let's see what happens.
Ooh. RVPH. This is a Lynn and Randy should be pretty excited. Nice little move here on RVPH. Looking like it's going to try to take out the top of this candle, which is 415. Maybe we get a move higher here. RVPH on watch for a 415 break. Doesn't have the volume yet.
Brett, if you have any questions on Pro and you ever want to reach out, you're more than welcome to reach out. These guys will help you. If for any reason you have questions on all the features or how to maximize your use of Pro, reach out.
Just trying a cute little scalp.
Little cute
just having
one.
fun with this trade. Yeah,
one.
dude, this trade station
little
stuff is
puppy.
just having me like trade like these small size shares and just like have a little bit of fun. Like I'm like, oh, I just made $20. Look at me. But anyway,
Hey,
you
a trade's
know,
a trade.
oh, for sure. And I'm, this isn't something I'm taking on E-Trade because it's not like a great setup, but just went ahead and short at VWAP here on Google. Stop loss is going to be 102.14. Looking to take profits at 101.59. We'll see if we go ahead and get it. But the main reason I wanted to, and the reason I'm taking these trades, just for folks to understand, is I go ahead and journal my trades, right? And so I kind of go back and take a look and I label them like, oh, here's why I took this type of setup. Here's why I took this type of setup, X, Y, Z. So then if I know that, hey, this has been profitable for about a month, 2 months, whatever, cool. Then I'll, put some actual size on this. But this just helps me kind of have a little bit of fun, a little bit of, gas station food money type situation. But the reason I took it is because you can see Google, like the market from the open, has gone to the downside. It's tested VWAP once, twice. That 102 has been resistance once here, twice here, 3 times here now. So I'm hoping that it'll just go ahead and make its way to the downside. But if it doesn't, I've got a stop loss right above VWAP at 102.14. But that's the reason I've taken it, because you can, once again, here, let me see if I can throw a little arrow in this bad boy.
I like it. I like it.
Because where is it? I'm about to sneeze here. One moment. Let me mute myself. Excuse me there. So you can see 1 failed there on the 102, 2, and 3. So, we'll see if it just wants to come down and flush to the 101.59s. Maybe I should move this a little bit up because you can see that's actually where, I'm going to move this up just a little bit. There we go.
Morning, Mike. What are you trading here today?
If you ain't trading, you ain't fading.
Crow, great call on Ahmed, man. You called that prior to the open. It's just an absolutely great call. AYY Dubx 607. Interesting handle. I'm going to call you AY, I think, going forward here. What happened to AVCT LOL? Offering intraday, $10 million offering intraday after the run.
Ryan sold all his shares. That's what happened.
Lol, no. Nice scalp there, Glenn. Good stuff.
Ooh, SPY. I spy with my little eyes coming down.
Let it continue to tumble because we've got those puts. Now, if you're going to try to take some profit, you want to trade it. Matter of fact, take it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have my little ding right over there.
Guys.
Sorry, you're getting high on what drug?
No, that's not what I said at all. Thanks, though. The ticker drug. The ticker drug is at new highs. Oh, Zunaid, trying to catch me up. I appreciate it.
Just
By the way,
saying.
Ahmed, like Crow was saying, just complete bloodiness. Just none of these levels provided any support. I guess maybe this 643 one a little bit. No.
Oh, look at that. SPY almost went ahead and hit our alert there, but it bounced off of that. We're going to stay patient. Patience, right? Patience. Let it.
Flush
there
the
you go.
toilet.
There it is. And now we're going to go ahead and get out of some more of our SPYs. Puts. Our Google has not hit our profit target just yet. We haven't made our $12.
There we go. Now we're talking business here.
Let's
Get
complete
some
reversal
crack.
here.
Let's get some
I want to
crack.
see what happens when this breaks this downside. I want to see if we break it.
SPY low of dirt.
Zunaid, are you short this right now?
Yeah. We're in place.
We're doing this.
Oh,
We're doing this. We lined up.
we out here.
Ow.
KPRX highs after multiple halts. Oh my gosh.
Took a little bit of profit there in ASML, below towards the 405.04. Just take a little bit off here.
Oh God.
Now I can let it try to really break down. We'll see what happens.
Man, KPRX actually spread tightened up here. We're only about 10 cents, 10 to 5 cents here. But man, is it wild. It is moving all over the place. Can't really get any size either.
Let go, SPY. Let go. Tesla down, back down. That had a VWAP fade, very similar style trade that you saw Zunaid taking there. Didn't get exactly to my VWAP. Maybe you guys' VWAP touched, but Tesla, nice move back down there. Not looking like it wants to come up today. Apple breaking through that 145.50. We'll see if it starts really breaking down. That's the breakdown level. It's trying to reclaim, but also at the same time battling right now. SPY right off the support 372.50s or 372.46 if you want to be exact. Let's see what happens here. Do we get the move down?
All right, looks like my order on Coinbase got filled. I totally forgot I even had this little puppy.
That's another reason why I don't like putting buy orders out there, because sometimes I forget. And then I get through and I'm like, oh, shit.
Nah, bro, we getting out of this one. Here we go, though. On our Google, we did go and get our order filled. So honestly, I mean, what up Chick-fil-A money that we're making? And there is SPY headed to the downside some more. Let's go.
Well, Zen Bullish taking some shots here. Tesla like the Yankees, lol. Man, that's cold blooded right there.
Yikes.
The Yankees haven't even played today. They go against Bieber today, don't they?
Yeah, it's great, the journey that Bieber's been on. I mean, from being a pop star singer to a pitcher, it's remarkable. I really thought his life would go to, shit after the whole Selena situation, but he's been able to recover, Ryan.
No.
I'm surprised I didn't get booted off the show yet.
Not falling for that one.
All right, just take half off there on ASML. Just took another quarter off there. Got a little piece left here. 2 trades in the green for me today. Trying to bounce back after a tough week. Like it's about was running a 3 or 4 day losing streak here. So wanted to bounce
what
back
happened to your
today.
competition? Did they ever fix anything and give you an actual chance, or was it
tell you
just
the
a bunch
truth,
of glitchy
I
shit?
still have the account and it's still glitchy and it's just annoying. And so
then
I
it's
take
not worth it. I feel you.
Yeah, it's just too much mental capital.
I feel you. I hear you.
You know what I mean? Like, if I'm not going to even make capital on this, then that's just.
So if
you only got as much as you have.
If it's taking up mental capital, then it's possible that it's actually taking away your mental energy that you are using to make money. I would be in the same position, Mitch. Like I said when you took that, I thanked you for taking it, but man, those trading competitions not easy, and they really kind of throw you out of your game. I've never been successful with them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm still in the green. I'm above the buying power.
Sure.
But I mean, it's just not fun anymore. And if it's not fun, and it's not for money, and it's not doing me, then you get enough that you're just like, all right, well.
How many of you have SPY puts? I have SPY puts. I think Mitch was short something. I don't know if he had
ASML, the semiconductor. It's a leading semiconductor equipment stock. Most people just don't think about these stocks because they only think about Nvda, but they don't know that there's equipment stocks that are behind the semiconductor, the thing behind the thing.
Something I want to talk about here. As you guys know, if you've been watching for quite some time, I love playing options more than equities. I'm trying to learn how to play equities, as you can see, which is why I'm fooling around with this trade station. But we took our short on SPY. Here we took our short on SPY at 934, right? So where's 934? 934 is right here. All right, we took our short on SPY there, and then we sold at 54. And I promise there's a reason I'm doing this. Feel free to stop me if there's a trade that's going on. and we sold at 54 when the SPY was right around here. All right. That's at 373, and I was able to sell that for 1740s. The SPY is at least a 1.5 lower, and the contracts are only up 20 cents. So keep in mind when you're kind of playing these weeklies, or this one wasn't a weekly, it's a couple months out, but when you're playing these type of option contracts, you need your move as soon as possible, or else Theta will kind of mess you up. So we're a 1.5 below from where I initially sold it, but we're up only 20 cents on those contracts. So like if you're playing options, grab your profits when you can. Don't be greedy. Hit those singles, and don't be like the Yankees and blow your profits.
What you just said, Zunaid, is the reason why I don't trade options.
Yeah, which is fair, right? It's high
just
risk,
literally
high
the
reward.
reason. Yeah, it's
Right?
just
Like I don't do cocaine. I trade options. Put that on a t-shirt.
What does that even mean? I don't
Right,
even know what
I
that
thought he
means.
was gonna do like a Breaking Bad here and tell me I don't do cocaine, but I do the meth, you know? Or
No. Like what? No, because like when you're trading options, it's a drug of its own.
it is.
Yeah.
It's hopium. No, I'm just playing. But that's just how it is, man. I mean, you got to find what works for you. One of the things is with the option game is I think the important part is understanding pricing of options. This is what most options traders cannot explain to me. So that just tells me enough. Do you really know what you're trading? And what did that mean to me is that you need to do a lot more research and understanding in the options market. And there's a lot of hidden kind of information in the options markets versus I would think equity markets. It doesn't have that much hidden. It's just kind of straight up. You know, you buy and you sell at a certain level versus you have to worry about the Greeks coming into here, the theta, how much is it being priced in, what's the premium, the volatility. There's a lot more you have to understand. It doesn't mean that options are better. It doesn't mean the other one is better. Maybe there is one that's better for you, but you have to find out and you have to go ahead and do the hard work to do that.
Someone asked something about what do I think the best platform is. So for options, I've only used E-Trade in my life. That is all I have used because that's the first broker I opened in college. And it's just, I know the platform very well, things like that. However, it's not direct access, right? So if you want like direct access and not really worry about market makers, quote unquote, you want to go ahead and maybe go to like a Trade Zero or Trade Station, IBKR, those type of platforms would be great for you to go to. But so for me, I place option trades on E-Trade with some equity. And then now I'm fooling around with TradeStation because I like the cool colors that pop up in the arrows and shit. So, and especially because, you know, it helps the chat because we had a feedback that says, hey, we don't really know what trades you're taking sometime, this, that, the other. Hopefully this kind of helps them out. It's okay. We all know you have Robinhood. I've never in my life had Robinhood simply because Robinhood wasn't around when I started trading. If it was around, you bet you're behind, I would.
Same, Zunaid. And in fact, Robinhood with the free trading, when I was new to this, oh my God, I did everything I could to negotiate my trade commission down. And if Robinhood had been around offering free trades, I totally would have fallen into that trap. But
imagine
like
trying
you,
to
I was
scalp and paying $5 a trade. Nah.
These guys just don't know the old environment.
Nah, fam. Back in my day.
One thing I will tell you is that I also think commissions created a negative for retail in the long run. And we've talked about that.
Because of order flow?
It's just because of order flow. And then we let the machines take full control. And before they were battling, the machines were battling for commissions. They would be like, well, we put 1,000 orders out a day. You're going to charge us $5 each order? No, they would get a cheaper price, right? Because they were algorithmic volume. But at this point, what are they getting? They're getting free orders out there. And so what did we do? We unleashed another beast that we probably didn't really want in the markets.
Yeah, but you know what though, Mitch? I mean, maybe it's not like this for everyone, but for me, especially when at the time when I had a very small account, not paying commissions on trades was extremely helpful, especially for scalping. So, I mean, I know that the payment for order flow is annoying, but I mean, there are still ways to trade around that.
Yeah.
So,
because look, no, I'd never liked looking at my P&L and I'm like, oh, sweet, I made $300 today. It's like, yeah, bro, but you paid $150 in fees. So it's like, damn. It's like shit, you know? But so I hear you, but I'm A-okay with the way things are. I am right. You are wrong. You confused me with AB. Bro, hold on. Take a look at me. Take a look at me. And then take a look at
I
AB
confused you.
when he comes on later on the show.
I confused you. That's
That
what happens
was
when you
good.
go on. That's what happens when you go on Benzinga Live, my friend.
This is true. This is true. This is true.
Morning, Voodoo. Voodoo, I did get your email, and I sent a response back to you. Let me know if you got that. Great to see you this morning.
Order out to cover some at 402.15 here for ASML. Let's see if I can get it filled. Want a little down tick to just get out of this trade. Solid. I'm trying to get that solid trade here.
Richard, where
There
did you
we
trade
go.
futures?
Boom. Got
What you
it.
got? What did you trade? Sorry, you don't have to touch it here.
ASML out at 402.15.
Nice.
402.04. Nice fill there.
Mitch, Chris is asking, do you have a video you can refer me to watch and understand the rule of three? I'd be happy to make that video with you if you want, or if you want to do it on your own, you can. But let's get that on the Benzinga Pro help site so anyone can actually see
It's
that.
on his screen right there as well. Look, let me go ahead and say this is Mitch's situation. But to me, look at Google right in the middle of his screen and look at it try to break VWAP 3 times, and it doesn't. Now, I have no idea what Mitch's rule of 3 is in terms of the exact definition of what he likes to go with, but well, and if you're going to change the timestamp, it's going to look different. But
no, just looking at the price action you're calling.
If you look at the 3, you can see that you had on that 3 tries to go ahead and break the VWAP, and it couldn't do it. And to the downside we came.
We could do it like this. You know, one thing is I can do the video. The biggest thing about that video is I'll tell you the truth. That's the secret sauce. I don't know if I want to give it to everybody. I'll give it to.
I just removed him.
That's cold-blooded. That's cold-blooded. I mean,
I'll tell you right now, there's not a moment that you're gonna go through in your financial time. There's not many times where you get a light bulb to go off of. This is one of them. You guys look it up. See the patterns out there. This is the only time that I've ever had some knowledge where I've been like, man, I think I know something that most don't. So to each his own from there.
You've got SPY making new lows. I'm still holding on to my put. Oh, okay. If you're going to come down like that viciously, I might have to sell some. Hang on a second. All right. I've got 2 contracts left. So I'm going to sell one of them here. Sold at 1809 on the bid. And now we'll see if we can go ahead and get our 370s.
Woohoo! That ASML continued down, but I'm glad I'm out of there. I'm more than happy with my bounce back today. 2 really solid trades, really nice. I'll take it today. Not going to even push it here. Google was a nice little fade there. Tesla probably continuing through that low. There you guys see it. Apple continuing down there also. GS, it did do that breakout. Now pulling back there and probably will give up some of these gains, especially if the SPY can continue down. SOX was our best trade of the day. Could have held that one and just let it run, right? This is why I like to do sometimes swing trade size, and you take a good profit and then you just let the rest of it run break even. If I would have set a break even price point for my SOX, walked away, I could have come back right now and been up about 5 points on SOX.
That's what I did on SOXL when I was at the office. I walked away to go to the bathroom, came, and I was up. We closed the trade.
And that day, Ryan, you could have actually walked away for hours, and it would have gave you even more, right? You saw it that day.
I appreciate you throwing a little salt in there. That's
no, it's not salt. It's not though. Think about it.
Well, no, I'm joking because the stock it ended up going much higher. But
and the process though there shows me more that sometimes break even hold and just coming back later can get you a really sizable gain that you don't stress about because you just walk away.
Yeah.
And you let the what I say, let the trade work for you.
That's what we said all day.
Let it work. Yeah. Put it to work. You already did the hard part, which was executing on the entrance. Now that you're far away from that entrance, you've taken some profits. There's nothing wrong with letting sometimes trades work.
Yeah.
And that's how I've gotten the biggest gains in my life, where I've taken, 30, 40% gains on trades where I'm like, damn, all I had to do was just walk away after I got my first profit. So
The most profitable trades that I've ever had two things in common. One, it took a while. I mean, it took more than a day, right? They weren't day trades. It took multiple months for the move to materialize. And number two, and I always find this interesting, I almost immediately go down on that position right when I take it. So when I took some of it, I was down for a little bit, but then it went back and ended up being one of the bigger. That was SLGG. That was the biggest trade.
all right,
I'll 190s to like 11 on that thing.
Should I do one more rule of three breakdown here today?
Might as well.
Might as well. Might as well.
The rule of three in the writing world, by the way, is very cool.
I mean, the rule of three, it exists in everything. It's in patterns all around. And then one thing that you'll see, and the Japanese culture talks about this also, is 3 is lucky, 4 is unlucky. And so that's another thing to keep in mind, why I feel the rule of 3 kind of works. So I'll give you guys it here on Lockheed Martin. And you guys can check out the strategy breakdown of the day. All right, I'm going to zoom in here so that you guys can see the action. And we're actually I'm going to walk you through the action like I would walk through the trade. And so it's kind of be like a trade example going in the back, like a back test, right? And so a lot of times, what are we going to look for out the gates? Well, we're going to be looking for big spikes out the gates. This is how the candle is going to start in the trading action. We're looking for the spike, right? And with that spike, what we're going to be looking for are the pullbacks. Start creating support for us so we can understand where that support is and where the resistance is. Now we get those 2 candles. They start breaking out, right? We're like, okay, we got a little bit of a mover here. Now we start topping out around the 411s here. We're going to be looking for some pullback action. We get that pullback to around 406. That's going to be our first kind of topping action. We're going to call that the first resistance, right? Now we're looking to create some support. So we come back to that 406, we create some support. One of the good ways that you'll know that it's support is you'll look to the left and you'll see some kind of price action very similar into that area. And so around that 406.16, around that area, we're finding some support. Start drawing it out for yourself. You're looking for another resistance try. Boom, you get another resistance try immediately. And what happens? You are really starting to create resistance around that 410, 411 area. Scroll to the right. We're looking for a support test. Look what happens. It hangs out, comes to support. Now you have support 2. Now we have resistance 1, support 1, resistance 2, support 2. You're looking for the third resistance. We're not still trying to get in. That's the way that I approach this. So I'm looking for that next push up. Boom, we get it right here. And what happens? It meets some sellers right at the trend line. And then boom, now we're looking for the last retrace, the last part that we can go ahead and jump in on the trade. And so we're looking for the support try down. You get it right here. Boom, right to the next support. Now on this support is where I'll usually be looking for an entry. Let's say if I got in right below the VWAP here, and I'm going to use a green one here to show you guys that. And there you guys see it. Now the trade starts building up, right? We've already had all the resistance tries. We had the support tries. Now we're looking for the breakout, right? Let's look to see if we can get it here. We get the push up right to the resistance. Pull back right off the VWAP and take off. That's what you're going to be looking for, team. That's what we want to find. We want to find, instead of always looking for the breakout on every time the candles go to resistance, I actually let the pattern play out here, looking for the support test. And that gives me the ability to not be emotional all in between that up and down time. And then I'll be looking for the breakout tail. Of course, also, what does this do for you? It defines support for you, which is a big important part of trading, right? You want to be able to find where your risk spot is. Look how this risk spot was holding well, and there's no closing below that. Boom.
Sweet.
That is the strategy breakdown of
Nice
the
job.
day.
Appreciate you giving the secret sauce. Hopefully folks can take advantage of that. And yeah, the way Mitch found this, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, Mitch, is kind of going back and looking at charts and being like, hey, why did this break? Or at least that's how I would do it. It's like, hey, why did this break? What happened before, right? Try to find those patterns and those tendencies before a stock breaks up, breaks down, different things like that. And you kind of start to see a little bit that works in your favor. By the way,
And
I'm
it
looking
works in all time frames. Just want to be sure.
Yeah.
It works in all time frames. I showed it to you in the 1 because what is that going to do? That's going to show you more of the up and down and the volatility. But it's simply on that Lockheed Martin. If you went to the 5, you could do the same. It's just going to look more compact because of the time frame.
I'm looking to go short before the show ends. We got about 15 minutes here. I'm looking to go short SPY at 372.09. Stop loss will be about 68 cents above. Take profit will be 68 cents below. We'll see if I go ahead and get filled.
Not a bad day today.
No,
Yeah,
not
it's
at all.
a
We had a
great
good
freaking
plan
day.
from the outset here. And remember what we said about those ETFs, Mitch. SOX proved to be one of the best trades of the day here. Watch those ETFs. They provide plenty of liquidity and plenty of moves. If this market can kind of hold, I think we might actually have a trade in SOXL too if we take the next leg up. I don't know if that'll be today, though. Dow's still at 420 points.
Glad you guys enjoyed that, and always here to break down patterns, strategy breakdowns. If you guys want to know some more, I mean, I have more that we can rely off of. We can do the 1-minute pullback method for momentum stocks, right? 1-minute pullback method involves the 9 EMA and that outlook. So if you guys have ever heard, that's one of my favorite indicators is the 9 EMA, and you're looking for momentum moves through the 1. And looking for pullbacks on that.
9 EMA is extremely valuable for using any type of gap and go strategy. Now, gap and goes have been tough in the market that we're in because we often don't gap up, and we've been selling a lot of those gap ups. But when we get some strength in there, the 9 EMA is actually what we use to define your stop out of a gap and go, a stock that gaps up and then continues when the market actually opens. One of my favorites as well, Mitch, especially from the EMA side.
All right, let's start. I'm going to go ahead and see. We'll probably be wrapping up around 11:10 here. So I'll try to get you guys a little bit in closer toward Benzinga Live. Benzinga Live will be coming up after this. Stick around, team. And we have over 500 people here. So do me the favor, guys. Smash that like. Can we at least get 250 likes? Half of you guys in the chat supporting us. That shows us a lot more that you guys support us. Right now, it looks like we're at 128. Hey. Take the second. It only takes a second. Hit that thumbs up. And what does it really do? It just shows that you guys appreciate what we do. If you guys want live trading around to continue being around, that's how you do it. Just hit the thumbs up. Not even going to have to tip us. Just go ahead and smash it up. And look at that.
Oh, wow.
Volt giving us a little tip action. Appreciate that. That it really does help us, those super stickers. But of course, there's just hitting that like button does more than you guys know.
Yeah, we appreciate it. You definitely don't need to at all. Would rather you just smash the like for us. By the way, you got SPY coming up. I did go and get filled on my SPY short at 372.09. Currently down $22 on the trade. Stop loss is going to be 372.77.
Voltistic. Awesome.
Coming back.
Love your work, guys. Really, really appreciate that. We absolutely love, we love helping people. We love going over a process.
Oh, yeah.
Really, really appreciate that, Voltistic.
And remember this morning, one of my stocks to watch was SoFi. It did the move that I literally called out, but just was pennies, right? It was just pennies, but it was a nice move there in SoFi. So now it's getting above the 535. I'd actually maybe look at this GS VWAP bounce style for it to come back up towards the highs. Doesn't look too bad here. It's just going to really be all dependent on the SPY. Will we actually recover? We're coming fast back towards the 373. Let's see what happens on the SPY. I have a feeling that you're going to get kind of that inside day, but we'll see what happens there. SPY trying to make its move back. Did do a little bit of a gap up. Let's see what happens today. Success is turning around also. Sign that we are coming back. All right, let's take a look at the oil trade. How did that break down? Yeah, it's starting to break that 100. I would start looking at drip, and even you can look at potentially some of these oil trades really starting to break down here, especially and I'll just take a quick peek at crude. I was watching it. It kept going down. Yeah, it's going down further here, showing me that we possibly could get that breakdown of those oil stocks. So if you're in oil stocks, you're starting to see them decline. A big part of that, probably WTI down big on the day, down about 3.78%.
KB shouting ERNA halted. This is halted. Huge move up here. We were right around, what, 480, halted into the 690 level. Let's see if we have any news here. Presents an iPSC-derived immunotherapies Congress.
No, I'm not trading OTDE. No, or 0DT. I can't do this today. No, I'm not trading same day expirations or anything like that. Matter of fact, the trade that I was in for SPY was all the way out to December. And now I'm in January 370 puts, but it's more of a scalp play. So I didn't call it out just because I'm getting in and out rather quickly. But you can see that I am short 100 shares of SPY at 372.09 with my stop losses 68 cents above and my take profit 68 cents below. Something that I need to do now is whenever I take these trades, just make sure that my risk reward is the same in terms of dollar amounts as well, because I can go ahead and win more trades. But if I lose a trade that was a higher stop loss in terms of dollar amounts, then it doesn't matter. So I'll fix that up.
Oh. FNHC finally broke down. Looks like today is the day that ends its bull run, at least temporarily. ATXI totally rejected off that 420 level.
What's the difference between SOXL and SMH?
SOXL is 3x levered, whereas SMH has no leverage. So you're going to get more movement on the on the levered product than you would on the unlevered product.
There you go. What are our thoughts on
the other difference is that the SOXL is a direction product and the SMH is a VanEck product. I don't know if that matters to your trading like the leverage does, but there are your differences.
On Morgan Stanley, if you like it to the long side, you have a clear risk off area, which is a low of day. I would take first profits maybe near VWAP as it crosses $80. If you're looking to go short, maybe wait for low of day break or wait for VWAP test around 80, and the stop loss could be 50 cents right above if it breaks high of day. Yeah, for sure, man. I haven't traded. Well, that's a lie. I am scalping same day expiration on Apple, but very small size. Just testing things out because October was a mess of a trade or mess of a month for me in terms of trading.
Real quick, that ERNA that we talked about just here that's halted, that's open now. This thing is extremely thin. Extremely thin.
What is it called? I'm sorry.
ERNA, Echo Romeo November Alpha.
Got it.
I'm not trading this. I'm not trading this. I saw, who was that? KB. You actually hit this in at 617, out at 688. Good stuff. This one pretty wild here. It trades like it's thin too. It's all over the place.
Nick, what are you trying to find on SPX? And it's also because not a lot of retail individuals trade SPX, from what I understand. And let me not pretend like I'm in this bad boy for years and years and years. I trade SPX very, very rarely. It's when I'm feeling like I have big energy, and I'm feeling like taking a lot of risk. But besides that, I won't trade it. It helps you in terms of taxes. I think you pay, or I know you pay less taxes on the gains on SPX, which is why a lot of folks love it.
Yeah, I would just play it like you play the SPY. You're just
Yeah.
playing
Well,
it
so the
very simple.
difference-
Exactly.
Well, yeah, but the difference is that with SPX, it's like you have 10 SPY contracts, so you just have to be kind of mindful of that.
Yes.
And the spreads could be much wider, and they move quite volatile as well. So just be mindful of that. But
and just be mindful that I don't know my options. So
no worries.
At least you're open and honest.
I mean, I've even taken derivatives classes and seen how they're truly priced and the complicated method to price them and pricing models and different things. And I even learned some of it in the CMT, but just not for me, man. It's not for me.
I respect it. I respect it.
Gotta find what's for you.
Amen to that. You've got SPY now below our entry, so we're up $24 because we're ballers. But we're looking for Zunaid last week was looking for a whale costume. Oh, I don't know if I told you guys. Okay, first off, I don't know if I'll actually end up going to the Halloween party or not because I might be in Canada that day. But well, real quick, here's an update on the SPY trade. We're up $24 on the trade. I know exactly what I'm going to be for Halloween if I do go to the party.
What party are you talking about, first of all?
Halloween party, just like a friend's Halloween party.
Your friend's Halloween party, okay?
Yeah, sorry. I brought this comment up. I don't know why it didn't go down. Because we're looking at a whale costume for Halloween. If I go to the party, I'm going to dress up as everyone's 401k because that shit has been scary this year for a lot of people. So that's what I'm going as. I feel like it works.
Is it going to be like a manila folder with 401k written on it and blood everywhere? Or what?
And then yes, with blood and a big red down arrow is what it's going to be.
Okay.
Yes.
Take pictures. I'd like to see those.
If I go, I 100% will.
I might just dress in all red. I might just turn my red Blackhawks clothes inside out and have it be all red and say the same thing.
I could actually wear a red t-shirt and just have like a name tag that says your 401k.
Dave says, so you're going as an empty bucket because that would also represent a 401k.
Oh, here we go. Yes, that's what I meant to say, Zen Bullish, but I didn't want to say it out. But here we go. We are in the money by $40 or so in our SPY short, but it doesn't matter until and unless we clock the gains.
Dun, dun, dun.
Heard Microsoft laid off 1,000. Yeah, I know a lot of folks are stopping hiring freeze or this, that, the other. That's tough. That is very tough.
Yep, it's going to be, I don't know, man. I feel like, everyone was trying to call this, again, the bottom and that kind of talk out there. I think you just got to trade the bottoms and then worry about it being a bottom when you start seeing another bull market again. So until that time or the Fed changes tune, yes, day trade. I don't mind it, but I'm not calling bottom anytime soon.
Becca, good idea. I should go as a red candle. I should go as a red candle for Halloween. That's not bad.
There you go.
I feel like I'm stealing Zunaid's idea too much, but
who cares? Please, let's we can have a reward better.
Okay, dress up like a Bitcoin, but they'll probably just toss me out.
Look, I've got here. Let me.
I'd sell you the therapist.
Let me see if we can.
If anyone gets that joke that you'll sell your Bitcoin to therapist, if you get that joke, put a 1 in the chat and explain it. I'll be impressed.
I definitely don't understand.
Yeah, I was going to say, I bet that goes over the heads of everybody.
Yeah, but here, look, we've got some shirts on Amazon, right? I typed in bloody shirt. Bro, this would be great. I might have to just order it regardless if I go out or not. Imagine just wearing this, and in the middle, you can just kind of have like 401k. We'd have to figure out how to go ahead and put that. But, oh, man. I don't know. I'm excited now. I got to figure something out.
Human check, man. You could be the human check.
Maybe wearing this and just having like 401k or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I like it. This is a good idea, Brian. We'll figure something.
Mink Wandering, you are a winner. Not only did you correctly identify it, but you even used the colloquial way to describe it as Tarky. You are a winner, my friend. You must play. And you said loke it, but I think you meant love it. So awesome stuff. You got it. That is an Escape from Tarkov joke. Go as Powell. He's the real boogeyman. Actually, we got ideas in the chat here this morning, folks.
Going as Powell would be great, but like you have to know that would the average individual at your party understand that? So if you're going with like a bunch of finance folks, oh, it's hilarious. 401k, everyone is dealing with those pains. By the way, we're up still $46 on our trade. We want to clock in the 68, and we're going to stay patient. Jim Cagnina, the futures trading host that we kind of have fun with, he's always told me to just stay patient, let your targets hit, do not move your stops or your profit targets up. You had them for a reason. You can adjust, but stay patient. So I'm going to stay patient, which is really going to piss me off because you can see how close this candle was to giving me my profit. I swear to God.
That was like that AMD trade.
If I get stopped out when I was this close, when I was 2 cents away from my take profit, I will be upset. Order filled is what I just got in my ear. We've taken the money, and those are another nice little $68.
Nice job.
Thank you. And of
Take
course,
your
we still
money
have
and
our puts as well.
All right, folks, I'm going to get rolling with my regular day. We've
It
had
is 11.
an excellent start to the week. This is really, really exciting. Look forward to joining the team again tomorrow. Stay green, stay safe. We'll see you tomorrow, folks.
Same here. I'm out. Hopefully you guys understood why we took all the trades that we did today. Do I use hotkeys? I used to back in the day, but now I am more methodical about when I get in, when I get out. So no, I don't, but I used to way back when. But I'm out. Mitch, always a pleasure. Please appreciate you explaining the rule of 3. Definitely something that folks should go ahead and learn and keep an eye out for. I am out, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.
All right, we'll see what's going on there. I'll get you on out of here, Zunaid, and we'll start wrapping up, team. We got about 5 or 10 minutes that I'll keep us going, and then we'll get over to Benzinga Live. That'll be coming up next. Just want to go ahead and make sure Benzinga Live is set up here. All right, looks like we're getting it set up. So drip would be the kind of trade that I liked here. Looking for oil stocks to continue breaking down. XOM going down fast there through that kind of 101, looking like it wants to get towards the 100. Oxy's another way that you guys can pay this towards the downside. That's looking like it's breaking down. Oil to the downside right now as you're starting to see these break down. And there goes Chevron. Drip to the left. Gush breaking down probably. There you see it. SPY overall coming down fast. Where could we look for some trades? Maybe looking for stocks that have gotten a nice little push up to start breaking down. Even like a Goldman Sachs probably eventually breaks down through at 318.15 right now. Bank of America probably down to the lows there. Yep, right now towards the low on the intraday. Trying to hold through the support. We'll see what happens here. SPY needs to make a big rebound. If not, you're going to probably keep getting those leaked on down right now. If you guys got a ticker, throw it up in the chat. I'll definitely cover it. So it turns out Fed Bozic made 150 stock trades because he didn't understand the rules. The corruption continues. He's the Atlanta Fed president. What a joke. Well, I'll tell you one thing. It's not the first time that we hear that, right? I'll tell you, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a part of it, right? I mean, we've all heard about Nancy Pelosi and her type of trades. It's just something that I think we need to come together and kind of get an understanding of what we're going to hold these politicians accountable for, and if they should even be allowed to make investments that, have certain rules and certain kind of abiding by measures. It's going to be something to talk about. You'll hear a lot about this as we keep going into, of course, the midterms. SPY trying to hold here. Will it bounce? That's what I'm trying to keep watch for. Oh my God, Apple TV announced what? Wells Fargo, someone's calling out there. Wells Fargo, more like it right now. Jim Cramer called this one to the upside. It would have been a good day to play the Cramer inverse ETF, but it looks like it's not a good day right now. Let me take a look there at Apple TV. Let's see if there's some Apple TV news out there. Oh, there you go. Looks like we got some Apple news coming in here. Introduces the next powerful next generation Apple TV 4K with the A15 Bionic chip. Looks like there's some Apple news coming into the tape right now. Second generation iPad Pro supercharged by the M2 chip. So looks like the iPad Pro release. Let's see if Apple can get a bounce off of this. Of course, if Apple starts ripping, maybe the SPY can get some lift also here. Let's see if Apple can hold this 145 support and start getting some lift here through the 145. We could actually even look at this for a trade here. Just because it's news-based, right? It just hit the tape there. Let me see when it was actually hitting the tape. Looks like 11:01, 11. So this probably came out about 10 minutes ago. So we're looking to see if we're going to hold that 145. We would have to risk off the 144.90s right now on Apple. You can see we got 1, 2, 3 kind of bottoms there. You have to risk down at least towards those body close. I feel like 144.87. Let's see if we get a dip through here and then a push back through the 145.10s. Could see a reversal action. Really, I would like to see the SPY make it start making a move towards the upside here. There's Apple trying to hold that. Now we could go for Apple here. It doesn't look too bad. Let's look for a little pullback towards the 145. 10s are underneath that. Then we can take a shot with Apple here. But also going to be dependent on SPY there. But I kind of like that trade there. I just don't have enough time really to try to play it maybe all the way up to 145.70. But I could see the SPY come back here. So that's why I like the trade here. It doesn't look too bad there. Apple coming with some news. Hey, well, there, right there would have been our shot. That 145.05 pullback right there. That's probably where I would try to attack. And then I'd be risking off the 144.90s right now. Doesn't seem too bad. It's about 15-cent risk. Not a bad trade there. We'll see what happens. The SPY needs to come back, and that's why I'm not really taking it. If the SPY was closer to the VWAP, I would take my shot here. But I'm just going to hold off. I'm done for the day, but it's interesting type of move. The 9 EMA and the 5 worked really well as a res on that short call on the SPY. Hey, well, glad you enjoyed it, Chris. Far low, I hope gets puts on it and expires Friday. Yeah, we'll see if far low keeps coming down. Wait, there's a Kramer inverse ETF? Yes, it's coming, Dave. I'm actually going to be working to try to get an interview for us. Of course, Matthew Tuttle is opening that. And you can look it up. It still hasn't really released like kind of trading, but it's already been spoken of and it will be getting released. Look at Apple coming back down there. It's a tough day in the markets today. All right, we'll see what else is going on. It looks like we're just going to have that in-between type of day there. The SPY not being able to come back there, it just shows me a little bit of worry is still in the markets. We'll see what happens out there. Like always, guys, hit the like if you guys enjoyed today's action. We did a trade breakdown. We did the trade of the day. Trade of the day was on Sox L or Sox S. It was a really good trade there from the gates. You guys can see my executions here. We got in, rule of 3, gave it the push back towards the breakout. It broke out, got above there, did another rule of 3 here. I love how it did this and held the third support, then got through the breakout through the 71.50s, all the way up there to 74.40s. And then now it's starting to keep trying to push through there. Drip, another one that I talked about with the oil stocks, could potentially break down today. Having a good day there. We'll see what happens in the market. Market making new lows now on the intraday, down towards 370.64. And it's just been that type of market, right? We got to be careful. This could fill down back towards the 368 and 366. We'll see what happens today. I'll see you guys like always as we continue on in the intraday action. Up next, you guys get Benzinga Live with AB. I'm sure he'll have some traders on there to talk about the action that they're seeing in the markets. It's been a great day for me. Up next, you guys have Benzinga Live. After that, Stock Market Movers. I will be back at 1 p.m. Eastern. Don't miss that. Of course, I have some great guests like always. Today, we're going to be having on Matt Smith. We'll talk about some oil outlook. If you're worried about oil stocks or you think that oil could have another run, well, you don't want to miss Stock Market Movers. We'll definitely talk with an analyst from Kuiper as we have Matt Smith on. He's been on before and he's definitely an oil analyst. Like that's what he focuses on. So come on over. If you have a question about the oil markets, we'll find out what's happening in energy. Up next, Benzinga Live. Don't go anywhere. And we'll see if we get a little bit more of those gold flakes in this type of market. Them gold flakes. We'll see you next time right here. Live trading with Benzinga.